Greetings, knowledge seekers, the force is with you. Today we're going to be reviewing this unique lightsaber design from Damiensaber.
Pray on your knee. May the force be with you.
So this saber company, Damiensabers, reached out to me to pick a saber to review here on my channel. I decided to go with this white and black one because this hilt reminds me of a First Order Stormtrooper. And I've never seen a white lightsaber before. And while this one is loaded with a baselit RGB electronics, there's some interesting updates to their baselit board that we'll talk about in a little bit. The shipment took about 6 days to travel halfway around the globe and came in a nice colored box with printing. I always appreciate a saber that doesn't come in a brown or white generic box. It did make its trip all the way from China. While it wasn't loaded with a lot of foam, the kit came in good shape and included everything you expect. The blade and hilt were wrapped in plastic. There's also a plastic ziplock with 4 set screws and an Allen key. While I appreciate the business card size manuals for portability, having a fully graphic one is much easier to read and understand. Here is our blade. It also has a USB-A to a USB Type-C charging cable. And here is the hilt, and it's covered with plastic. We'll remove the plastic. So the cool thing about this saber, it's white and black, and it looks like it's layered, but it's full one-piece aluminum. None of it is plastic. These edges aren't sharp, so they won't cut your hand or anything. It's pretty comfortable to grip. Now, like I said earlier, the black and white scheme is reminiscent of a First Order Stormtrooper. But for me, it's a unique design, and it's my first stunt saber, a saber that I'm going to be dueling and spinning, that I don't plan on weathering. This just looks really, really nice. Now, the thing I really noticed is this hilt is really, really lightweight compared to my other LGT stunt sabers. It's a lightweight hilt, but when you put the blade, which is a 36-inch blade, it's even light with the blade. This is not heavy. In fact, I have shorter sabers that are heavier than this that aren't NeoPixel. Now, just to be clear, this comes with a 36-inch blade. I did not notice this was a 36 because it was so light until I put it side to side with my heavy grade 32-inch blade from Saberforge. In fact, it's so light that when you're spinning it, you're actually catching wind resistance. Now, the blade that it came with is actually a medium grade blade. That's why it's so light. It's not the type of thickness that you want to be doing any heavy dueling with. So light dueling is fine, some spinning is fine, try not to drop it. It's great for the weight, but if you wish to do something heavier with it, a heavy grade blade is recommended. The diffusion on this is really nice, it's really even. One of the things about baselit lightsabers, it's illuminated from the bottom all the way up, but as you can see, it's really, really even in how it's illuminated. It's almost as, well, I don't want to say it's almost as even as a NeoPixel, but it's more evenly distributed than a lot of baselit lightsabers. Now, one of the other cool things about this is that it came with 2 high profile and 2 low profile set screws. And when I have this tight all the way down, the set screws are flush to the body so they don't poke out and scratch my hand. And oftentimes this is an area where I'm actually gripping when I'm spinning, so I really like the fact that it's flush to the body. Now, the pommel, it's really unique. If you look, it's not perfectly flat or rounded out. It has this sawtooth shape to it. Now, the thing about how it sounds is it has a very deep tone compared to my other sabers that are usually thin sounding. And if I were to give a guess, I'm not 100% sure. It might be because this pommel is a resonant chamber and that's why it's shaped like it is. In fact, let's try turning it on and removing the pommel. It does sound a little brighter. I took the microphone off so I could put it right up on the pommel. Now let's try it with the pommel off. So I'm not sure, but this is possibly a resonant chamber with a sawtooth edge. It looks similar to the sawtooth on the chevrons of a modern jet, which is there by design to reduce the sound. So I don't know if this helps resonate a deeper tone, but the saber sounds better than most others that I've worked with. And when you take it off, it doesn't lose the deepness, but it does get brighter sounding because it's not as muffled. Now, I usually don't like a USB Type-C charging port. Well, I like it for the convenience, but sometimes I feel like it kind of goes against the design of round objects that goes with the button, but I really like how it looks with this particular saber. It just goes with it. It has that more modernized first order feel compared to the Empire. And usually baselit electronics don't have all the fancy controls like gesture controls like you would find on like Xenopixels and Profis. But this particular saber has gesture on, twist to go off, or stab to turn on. It has 12 total sound fonts, and the control programming is similar to some Xenopixel user interfaces. So let's check this out in a couple different colors. It's the cyan blue. Here's how it looks like green. Here's red. And this is the darkest color. Makes sense because it's red. Here's deep blue. Here's a magenta purple. And another thing I notice is when I'm spinning this, when the screws are tight, it doesn't wobble. I don't hear anything inside like the diffusion moving around. It's a very smooth saber when you're spinning it. It's very stable. Now, this is a baselit, but it is available in pixel options. But Damiensaber's baselit electronics is uniquely one of my favorites because of the modernized features, like the gesture controls. Now this particular saber is $120, which makes it great for an entry-level saber if you're getting a saber for the first time. The other thing that's good is the button is mounted really tightly on it, so it doesn't move around. You get a firm grip when you're turning this thing on. So let's take this outside for a spin. Now, the saber is very, very light, even with the 36-inch blade that it comes with, because it's a medium-grade blade. And you can feel air resistance when you're spinning it. Like I said earlier, the color illumination is very nice and even for being baselit. Sometimes a blade can have terrible dissipation, but not this one. Despite being such a long blade, it's so easy to do spins and strikes. So now let's show you basic functions of the lightsaber. So I already have it on. When the LED indicator is not on, it means you are completely off. When it is on, it's on standby. So to turn it on, just tap once. And you can do gestures on and off. So there's two ways to change colors here, and I really like the two ways. So to cycle softly through the colors, you hold the button, let it blink twice, and it's going to cycle slowly through all the colors. So every color in between the color mixing, you'll get. Oh, there's that yellow I was looking for. Now double click to keep that color. Now, a second way to cycle through the colors, if you don't want to wait through the entire cycle, is to hold the button and let it blink 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And it does fast color cycling, and it just skips ahead to the major colors. Let's keep it on blue. Now it does have smooth swing. What I like about it is the fact that it's not super sensitive. There is some smooth swing sounds when you're moving it slowly, but it takes a lot more to get that big whaley smooth swing. So it doesn't feel so sensitive to trigger that sound. I kind of like that because it kind of tells me how fast I'm moving it based on how the saber sounds. Now, if you tap it while it's on, it does blade deflect. If you hold it for one blink and let go, got saber lockup. Click once to turn it off. Now let's turn our saber off. While it's off, you can do some other functions, like if you hold once, blink, it will do your volume controls.
Volume high.
Volume high.
Volume low.
Volume low.
Mute.
Mute. So let's bring this back
Volume high. Volume low.
to volume low. Now if I do 2 blinks, hold.
Unstable.
Now my blade style is unstable. It's a little stroby. It's hard to see on the camera. But I kind of like how it looks on camera versus the strobiness that I'm actually seeing here. Let's change to another blade style.
Pulse.
This is the pulse. If you look closely, it looks like it's pulsating, but it's very, very light that it does it. So let's put this back on steady. 1, 2. Let's do 3 blinks.
Motion control off.
So with motion control off, it no longer has the motion control for turning it on and off.
Scavenger.
But what it does is it will cycle through your sound fonts. With motion control off,
The Dark Sword. The Dark Lord.
okay, let's turn motion control back on. 1, 2, 3.
Motion control on.
Now let's go to 4 blinks. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Flash on.
So 4 blinks can toggle clash on and off. What's clash? Well, when we have this on, clash is when it flashes and causes a sound when you strike. Let's use a darker color so it's more pronounced. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so clash. I like how that looks. And I'll be honest with you, I like how that looks versus the NeoPixel look where on a Xenopixel you see like a block turning white. I kind of like that the whole saber turns white. Okay, let's turn this off. Now, if you hold it while it's off, past 4 blinks,
The Dark Lord.
it also cycles through the 12 sound fonts. And one of the cool things, because this is an LGT saber, many of the parts, including the electronics, are interchangeable. Maybe one day I'll throw in a Xenopixel board in here, but you know what? I really love how light this is with the RGB, and I love how it looks. Like, this is a baselit saber that looks this good. And it's a budget-friendly saber. It's only $120. So if you're looking for your first lightsaber, check out Damiensabers and check out specifically this hilt, because this is a unique design that I really, really like here. So I hope you liked this video. Subscribe to me for more lightsaber reviews and click that little bell icon so you'll be the first to be notified when one gets posted. And I'll see you in the next video. The Force is with you, always.